Hello there, and welcome to Seraphim's Nerd Pool. What's going on, collectors? It's Johnny. This is, of course, Seraphim's Nerd Pool, and we are back. And I do apologise for that rather stupid intro. Thought like having a bit of fun, just to bring everybody back in. I've had about a 2-month gap since I've actually been able to make any videos. A bunch of personal issues. As you may be able to see from behind me, I'm not in the same place. I had to move house. So that kind of put a bit of mix on things. I've missed a lot. I've missed San Diego Comic-Con. I missed Summer Wonderfest. There's been a whole ton of stuff going on. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to do a little bit of a talk about statue scales, right? So everybody's been going on about the prices ever increasing of quarter scale statues. So let's talk about what the other options are. So, of course, quarter scale will always be king. It is possibly the easiest to display. It's a solid enough size, and normally it puts it in a decent enough price range where it's not busting the bank too much. But nowadays, like, statues in quarter scale are running up to $650, $700. In fact, Prime Studios actually released a Warhammer statue this week that is still quarter scale and was $1,500. Now, bear in mind, this is a giant mechanical suit this guy is in, so he's about the same kind of size as quarter scale or bigger, as one-third scale or bigger. So he was a big old dude. But on your regular kind of stuff, let's look at like Star Wars and stuff. Like their quarter scale stuff, their Han Solo, their Luke Skywalker, they're not exactly mind-blowing statues. And they've kind of been a bit divisive within the community, and they still run at like $500 to $550. This is getting kind of crazy. So we're going to talk about the different scales on what options you have. So we're going to talk first up about 1/3 scale. Now the easiest thing with 1/3 scale is obviously it's bigger, it is more expensive. But with the growing popularity of Prime Studios, 1/3 scale is really making a big impact. A lot of people are choosing, instead of buying these smaller quarter scales and buying 5, 6, 7 of them a year, they're choosing to save that money and buy 1/3 scales, maybe buy 1 or 2 and maybe stretch the budget to 3 pieces a year. Because the 1/3 scales even start at like $900. But you do get a lot more quality, you get a lot more detail, and you get a lot more physical presence because they are just that much bigger. Now, if any of you have ever watched the Batman statue collector, you'll know that he absolutely swears by 1/3 scale now. He's a huge Prime Studios fan, and he's got a brilliant collection of the Arkham line from Prime Studios. And it's all in 1/3 scale. They all look absolutely amazing together, and he has a really impactful collection. So if you haven't already, go and check him out because he's really good and he swears by Prime 1. Now, there is other scales going below quarter scale. Now, underneath quarter scale, you have 1/5 scale. Now, with 1/5 scale, obviously, you've got the recent release of the Avengers lineup from Sideshow. They had Iron Man at $360. It's just been getting out into collectors' hands now. It's a really nice looking piece. You have Captain America that's not far away from being into collectors' hands as well. That again is about $360. Then they had Thor. Now Thor was a bit bigger, a bit more impactful. He was $420. Kind of put the cat amongst the pigeons there because breaking that $400 mark kind of puts it in the kind of same territory as the quarter scale premium formats were only a year or 2 ago. And then of course you've had this week's release of the Hulk. Now, obviously, this is a 1/5 scale Hulk. It is a big statue anyways. Even in 1/5 scale, he's still a big guy. But he is now $600. And on top of that, they announced the 2 other versions of him. They're going to be doing the Grey Hulk and the Red Hulk. And the Red Hulk is going to have a completely different portrait to go alongside with it. So, if you're in for that 1/5 scale Avengers lineup, I mean, just in those 3 Hulks, if you choose to buy all 3 Hulks, you're spending, what's that? $1,800. Yeah, that's right, $1,800. And that's just on 3 Hulks, let alone the other 3 that are in the lineup and any more that may come after that. The line's been relatively popular. I can foresee them expanding that line further, as they already have done by announcing the extra Hulks. They've done the same with their He-Man stuff. He-Man's been in 1/5 scale. They're actually releasing a classic colorway variant of the Evil Lyn statue soon. Again, in 1/5 scale, probably going to be around $450. But again, kind of knocks it right in that level of what premium formats were only a couple of years ago. But then again, with 1/5 scale, you're not compromising on a great deal of size. They are still decent sized pieces. And like I say, with the Iron Man and the Cap being at $360, they're a lot more wallet friendly. So now I'm going to talk about what is my personal favourite scale at the moment. Now, this is purely due to the fact that they're a lot cheaper. And by the fact that they're a lot cheaper means you can collect more. So with me being a relatively new collector and collecting on a relatively smaller budget as some of the other people, these fit in a lot more with my budget. Now, with 1/6 scale, you have, you've got your Hot Toys. Now, some of the Hot Toys deluxe figures, they come with like the diorama style bases. So, you can put them in a pose, put them on that base, and they basically look like 6 scale statues anyways. And there's absolutely no denying that Hot Toys face sculpts are some of the best in the business. I've not yet seen a quarter scale statue, or even like Promon's half scale statues haven't managed to capture the likeness of the characters the same way as Hot Toys have been able to do with their 6 scale stuff. And then we obviously have 6 scale statues. Now 6 scale statues are really starting to make a big comeback. Like, they were made very popular back in the day with Bowen, but obviously since Bowen has kind of disappeared now, we don't really get many 6 scale statues. But what we got recently was the Tweeterheads Joker. Now, Tweeterheads was kind of not really, like, nobody really took Tweeterheads like, yeah, these are like mainstream statue guys. Because they did like, the 66 Batman and the Joker, and they did a lot of the old, like, caricature, cartoony styled characters. And like the old Adam West campy Batman TV show. Which was cool, but only appealed to certain collectors anyways. Now they released this Joker. Now this Joker was absolutely astounding. It caught so much attention at San Diego Comic-Con. Tweeterheads had kind of teased this for a while on their Facebook page and stuff like that. They even had this on show on the Sideshow Live episode a few weeks back, just before it went on pre-order. And my god, this thing is absolutely amazing. Even in 1/5 scale, it's still a pretty large piece. It's very detailed. Even the base and, the kind of like surroundings you get on the base really help tell the story of the Joker and what the Joker is about. But it comes in at a much, much lower price. I think this was like $260 or $270 or something like that. So it's a lot more wallet friendly, and you're still getting a very nice, very impactful statue of a very, very popular character. Not only that, but they have a Harley Quinn that goes with that, and they also released the Hyenas, Bud and Lou, to go with them as well. They are, all 3 of them, I mean, I'm tempted to get all 3 because I just think they look absolutely amazing. They're all available for pre-order now on the Sideshow website. I will put some links down in the description below for all this kind of stuff for you to go and check out for yourself. But the one that I'm most excited about now, my pièce de résistance, is the announcement of a worldwide license of 1/6 scale DC statues by XM Studios. Now, we all know XM Studios. If you don't know XM Studios, then you clearly haven't been involved in the collecting community for a number of years. XM Studios is basically the holy grail of statue companies. Pretty much everything they do is amazing. And, their prices from their own website, their standard retail prices, are very, very reasonable. I mean, like, their Electro and stuff like that was not much more than what a standard premium format would be. That's just so much more detailed. But the problem with that is you're not allowed to buy them in the UK or in America directly from them. So you have to get a third party and pay expensive shipping costs. Now, with this worldwide license of DC 1/6 scale, I'm hoping that it's going to recapture some of that love that people had for collecting when Bowen was around. And it's going to mean that XM Studios are going to be able to create the kind of stuff they are making now. They're big, powerful, like strong poses incredibly detailed bases, and just absolutely above and beyond what anybody else is doing, but just do it on a slightly smaller format and be able to go out to everybody. Now that is my personal favourite, and XM Studio stuff has been something I've really wanted in my collection for a long time, and it's something that I will definitely be looking to pick up, especially with this 6th scale stuff. I mean, I can't wait to see what they do with a 1/6 scale Aquaman. That's going to be absolutely nuts. Aquaman is probably one of my most favourite DC characters at the moment, because I just can't wait to see Jason Momoa play him in the films. So absolutely looking forward to that. So there you have it, guys. That's my opinion on the scales that you can really get into if you don't want quarter scale, or if you're sick of paying those quarter scale prices. They're your options. It's up to you. Let me know what you guys think. Like I say, I'm going to be going probably for the 1/6 scale line with some figures and statues. I know, like I say, Batman Statue Collector, he's focusing more on the 1/3 scale line. Just let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments down below. And thank you very much for tuning in after this long delay, and we will see you again next time.